Hello and welcome to English Fast Room.
And I'm Anna. We're so happy you're here with us today. If you're new, subscribe so you don't miss our daily episodes.
So, Anna, if you won the lottery tomorrow, what would you do?
That's a dangerous question. I would probably buy a house with a huge garden for Biscuit.
See, we just used would. And that's our topic today.
One of the most useful words in English. Why did you pick this topic?
Because would confuses me sometimes. Like, I use it in so many different situations, but I never really think about why I'm using it.
That's actually very common. Native speakers use would naturally without analyzing it, but for learners, it can be really tricky.
Yeah, I remember when I was helping my friend who's learning English, he asked me, why do you say I would go sometimes and I will go other times? And I was like, I don't know. They just feel different.
That's the native speaker answer. But there are actually clear patterns we can teach.
That's what I need. Clear patterns. My brain loves patterns. Give me a rule and I can follow it.
Good. Because today we're breaking down would into its main uses. And I promise, it's simpler than you think.
Don't worry, it's simpler than you think. I love when you say that. It makes my shoulders relax. Like, okay, I can handle this.
That's the goal. Relaxed shoulders, open mind, ready to learn.
So how many ways can we use would?
There are about 5 or 6 main uses in everyday conversation. We'll go through each one with real examples from our lives.
5 or 6 uses. That's manageable. Not 50.
Definitely not 50. And the good news is you probably already use most of them correctly. We're just going to make it conscious so you can explain it to others.
Making the unconscious conscious. I like that.
Exactly. Let's dive in. The number one use of would is for imaginary or hypothetical situations, things that aren't real.
Like my lottery question.
Exactly. If you won the lottery, what would you do? The lottery win isn't real. It's imaginary. So we use would for the result.
I would buy a house. I would travel the world. I would quit my job.
Perfect. Would buy, would travel, would quit. The pattern is if plus past tense plus subject plus would plus base verb.
Wait, if you won, that's past tense, but we're talking about the future?
I know, it's weird. But in hypotheticals, we use past tense for the if part to show it's not real. It's like saying, this is just imagination, not reality.
That's actually really helpful. So if I had $1 million, I would, not if I have $1 million.
Exactly. If I have $1 million, sounds like you might actually have it or get it. If I had makes it clearly imaginary.
Oh, wow, that's such an important difference.
It really is. Let me give you more examples. If I were taller, I would play basketball.
If I were taller, wait, shouldn't it be if I was taller?
Great question. In formal or traditional English, we use were for all subjects and hypotheticals. If I were you, if she were here, if it were possible.
So if I was rich is wrong?
In formal writing, yes. But here's the good news. In casual conversation, most people say was too. Both are accepted these days.
That's a relief. That felt confusing for a second.
Don't worry. Don't worry. The important thing is using would in the result clause. That's what marks the sentence as hypothetical.
So the key is if plus past, would plus verb.
Exactly. And here's a tip for your brain. When you hear would after if, you know you're in imagination land.
Imagination land. I like that. It's like a mental vacation.
Sometimes the best kind. What's another use? I know we use would when asking politely, right?
Yes, this is the second main use. Would makes requests softer and more polite.
Compare will you help me and would you help me.
Will you help me is direct, not rude, but neutral, maybe a bit demanding. Would you help me is gentler, more considerate. It shows respect for the other person's choice.
So in customer service or formal situations, would is better.
Definitely. Would you like some coffee? Would you mind closing the door? Would you be able to send me the file by tomorrow?
Would you mind? I use that one a lot, especially at work.
It's super useful. Would you mind waiting for a moment? Would you mind speaking more slowly? Would you mind if I asked you something?
What's the correct response? If someone asks, would you mind?
Great question. If you don't mind, meaning it's okay, you say, no, not at all. Or, sure, no problem. Or just, of course.
Wait, no means yes? That's confusing. I know, it's confusing. Would you mind closing the door? No means no, I don't mind doing that, so you will close the door. It's a double negative that confuses everyone.
English is wild, but I got it. Don't worry, I got it. No, not at all means yes, I'll do it.
You got it. And if you do mind, you can say, actually, I'm in the middle of something, or maybe in a moment.
Softer than just saying, no, I won't.
Much softer. Politeness is all about giving people options. Similar to requests, we use would for polite offers.
Would you like something to drink?
Exactly. Much softer and more hospitable than, do you want something to drink?
So at a restaurant, the server might say, would you like to see the menu?
Yes. Would you like to order now? Would you like anything else? Would you like the check?
And to accept, you just say, yes, please, or that would be great.
Perfect. That would be great. See, we're using would in the answer too.
That would be lovely. That would be perfect. That would be wonderful.
Exactly. These are very natural, very polite responses.
Okay, this is the one that confused me. Using would for the past. Can you explain?
Yes. Would can describe repeated actions in the past, things you did regularly that don't happen anymore.
Like used to?
Very similar. When I was a child, I would visit my grandma every Sunday.
I would visit. That's exactly like I used to visit.
Exactly the same meaning. Both describe past habits that don't happen anymore.
When I was in college, I would study at the library every night.
Perfect. You can almost see the scene, right? It feels nostalgic.
It does. Every night after dinner, I would walk to the library, find my favorite spot by the window.
That's beautiful. See how would creates that storytelling feeling? It's great for reminiscing.
My grandma would make cookies every Saturday without fail. The whole house would smell amazing. I can almost smell them now.
That's so sweet. And notice, would make, would smell. All past habits.
But here's a question. What's the difference between would and used to?
Good question. Used to works for both habits and states. I used to live in Colorado. I used to be shy. But would only works for actions.
So I can't say I would live in Colorado?
Not for the state of living there. Would needs an action. I would go to Colorado every summer. I would visit my aunt. But not I would be a student.
That's subtle but important.
It is. When in doubt, used to always works. Would is just a stylish alternative for repeated actions.
It sounds more literary, more poetic.
Exactly. That's why it's common in storytelling and nostalgic conversations. Another common use is expressing preferences. I would rather.
Oh, I would rather stay home than go to the party.
Exactly. I'd rather means you prefer one option over another.
I'd rather have tea than coffee. I'd rather walk than drive.
Perfect. And you can shorten it. I'd rather have tea. The contraction is very natural.
I'd rather not. That's how you politely decline something.
Yes. Would you like to come to the meeting? I'd rather not, if that's okay. Very soft refusal.
Much nicer than no way or definitely not.
Much nicer. You preserve the relationship while expressing your preference.
Lily uses this a lot. I'd rather stay in tonight. I'd rather try that new place. It's gentle.
It's a very mature way to express preferences.
There's one more, right? Something about reporting what someone said?
Yes, when you report what someone said in the past, will becomes would. It's called reported speech.
Can you give an example?
Direct speech, he said, I will help you tomorrow. Reported speech, he said he would help me the next day.
Oh, so will shifts to would when you're reporting.
Exactly. She told me she would call me later. They promised they would finish the project. He mentioned he would be late.
That makes sense. The original promise was in the past, so would marks that distance.
You got it.
Lily said she would cook dinner tonight. I'm reporting what she told me earlier.
Perfect use.
What about other verbs? Do they change too?
Yes, it's called backshifting. Can becomes could, will becomes would, am is are becomes was were.
So, she said I can swim becomes she said she could swim.
Exactly. And he said I am happy becomes he said he was happy.
This is useful for telling stories about conversations.
Very useful. Think about how often you tell someone what another person said. My boss said he would give me feedback. My mom said she would visit next month.
I do this all the time without realizing.
That's the beauty of natural language learning.
Are there common expressions with would that we should know?
Great question. There are several fixed expressions.
Let's hear them.
I would love to means you really want to do something.
I would love to visit Paris someday. I would love to meet her.
Perfect. It's enthusiastic, but still polite. Another one, it would be nice if.
It would be nice if we had more time. That sounds wishful.
Exactly, expressing a wish or gentle hope. Here's another, I would think so.
What does that mean?
It means, I believe that's true, or probably yes. Someone asks, is the store open? You say, I would think so.
Oh, so it's a softer way of saying yes.
Right, you're expressing your opinion without being 100% sure.
And here's a useful one. I wouldn't worry about it.
To reassure someone.
Exactly. I wouldn't worry about the test. I wouldn't stress about that. It's comforting. What about I would say?
I would say introduces your opinion or estimate. I would say it takes about 2 hours. I would say she's around 30 years old.
So it softens the statement.
Yes, you're sharing your perspective, not claiming absolute truth.
These expressions add so much nuance.
They do. Native speakers use them constantly to sound thoughtful and polite. Let me share some real-life scenarios where would is essential.
Yes, context helps me remember.
Job interviews. I would be happy to take on that responsibility. I would welcome the opportunity to learn.
Using would sounds more professional than I want to.
Much more. It shows you're thoughtful, not demanding.
What about dating? When Lily and I first met?
Sure. Would you like to get coffee sometime? Would you be interested in seeing a movie?
Much better than, do you want to go out with me?
It's low pressure. It gives the other person an easy way to decline.
I would love that versus, sure, okay.
Big difference in enthusiasm.
What about travel or ordering food?
I would like a window seat if possible. Would you happen to have a vegetarian option? I would prefer the later flight.
These all sound so polite and mature.
Exactly. Would is your politeness superpower.
I'm going to use it more consciously now.
And people will respond positively without even knowing why.
What mistakes do people make with would?
One big one, using a would in the if clause. This is very common.
What do you mean?
Wrong. If I would have money, I would buy it. Correct. If I had money, I would buy it.
Oh, so would goes in the result, not the condition.
Exactly. The if part uses simple past. The result uses would, not both.
If I knew the answer, I would tell you, not if I would know.
Perfect. Another mistake? Confusing would and will. Will is for real future. Would is for hypotheticals or politeness.
I will go to the party tomorrow. real plan. I would go if I had time, hypothetical.
Exactly. The situation determines which one you use.
And I will help you is a promise. I would help you is more conditional?
Right. I would help you if you asked. There's an implied condition.
This is getting clearer.
Here's something interesting. Would changes meaning based on intonation.
Really? Like the same sentence can mean different things?
Yes, I would help you with stress on would often means I want to help you, but there's a problem.
I would come to your party, but I have to work.
Exactly. The stress implies I want to, but I can't.
What about without stress?
I would help you without stress just states a hypothetical fact neutrally.
So listening for stress helps me understand the meaning.
Absolutely. Native speakers use stress a lot to add meaning. Let's do a quick practice. I'll give a situation, you make a sentence with would.
Game on.
Imaginary. You can fly anywhere in the world right now.
If I could fly anywhere, I would go to Japan. I've always wanted to see the cherry blossoms.
Beautiful. Polite request. Asking someone to repeat themselves.
Would you mind repeating that? I didn't quite catch it.
Perfect. Past habit. Something you did as a child.
When I was little, I would build forts in my room every weekend. My mom would pretend to be surprised every time.
That's adorable. Preference. Coffee or tea?
I would rather have coffee, please. Extra strong if possible.
Of course you would. Perfect scores on all of them.
I feel like I just passed a test.
You did, with flying colors. Let's recap our would patterns.
Pattern 1. Hypothetical situations. If plus past, would plus base verb.
If I won the lottery, I would travel. If I were you, I would call her. The situation is imaginary.
Pattern 2. Polite requests. Would you? Would you mind?
Would you pass the salt? Would you mind helping me? Much softer than will you.
Pattern 3. Polite offers. Would you like? Would you like to join us?
Would you like some water? Would you like to join us? Shows hospitality.
Pattern 4. Past habits. For repeated actions in the past.
I would visit my grandma every Sunday. She would always sing in the morning, similar to used to, but for actions only.
Pattern 5. Preferences. Would rather.
I would rather stay home. I'd rather not. Great for soft refusals and choices.
Pattern 6. Reported speech. Will becomes would.
She said she would come later. He promised he would help. Key phrase. That would be great.
That would be great.
The perfect response to offers. Would you like coffee? That would be great, thank you.
Key phrase. I would if I could.
I would if I could. Can you come to the party? I would if I could, but I'm busy. Shows willingness with limitation.
Key phrase. What would you do?
Great for asking hypothetical questions. What would you do in my situation? It invites thoughtful answers.
These patterns cover 90% of would usage.
Master these and you'll sound very natural. Practice each one and they'll become automatic.
All right, that was a great talk about would.
We covered hypotheticals, politeness, past habits, preferences, and reported speech. That's a lot of ground.
And remember, every pattern has a purpose. Hypotheticals for imagination, polite requests for respect, past habits for storytelling, preferences for expressing yourself gently, reported speech for sharing conversations.
When you understand why you use would, it becomes much easier to use it correctly.
I actually feel more confident about this now. Like I used would correctly before, but now I know why.
That's the power of conscious learning. It gives you control.
Any final tip for our listeners?
Yes. Pay attention to would when you watch movies or listen to podcasts. Notice which pattern is being used. Is it hypothetical, politeness, past habit? The more you notice, the more natural it becomes.
Active listening. Such a good strategy.
And don't be afraid to use would in your own speaking. Start with the polite forms. They're the safest and most universally useful.
Would you mind? Would you like? That would be great.
Master those 3 and you're halfway there.
Now a question for you. Tell us in the comments, if you could have any superpower, what would it be? Use would in your answer and explain why.
We love reading your hypothetical answers. Get creative. Flying, time travel, mind reading, invisibility.
And remember, would is one of the most useful words in English. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes.
If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, and share with a friend who's learning English.
We'll see you tomorrow with another easy conversation.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.